lot of these villagers, they're very proud to be part of technology. Even though they've never seen a computer in their life, when they see it, they have a very strong emotional bond to the technology, and they have a lot of pride that with the technology they will come out of poverty, they will be able to help themselves and their family live a better life.
The road of innovation is being paved out here in rural India. These farming villages are Sandeep Chatterjee's proving grounds. Chatterjee and banker companions are asking these women to take an act of faith for the first time in their lives, rather than hiding their money, to deposit it. Sandeep's company, SourceTrace, enables electronic banking over mobile phone networks. 3/4 of India's population lives in poverty, making less than $2 per day. While they may not have clean water to drink, most villages do have cell phone reception.
The technology that we have deployed here is allowing these women, who many of them are building small handicrafts, hand goods, and they're selling them on a daily basis. They're probably making 50 rupees, 100 rupees profit per day, which converts to about $1 to $2. And they're able to deposit the 50 to 100 rupees directly to the bank.
Multiply that $1 to $2 a day by hundreds of millions of people, that kind of money captures bank executives' attention.
Whether it is 100 rupees or 1,000 rupees, it hardly makes a difference.
Prakash Bakshi is the executive director of the National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development, headquartered in Mumbai. What matters to him is not the size of the deposits, it's how much it costs the bank to handle the transaction. Using conventional methods, it's just not worth it. SourceTrace's model employs what it calls banking correspondents, traveling tellers hired from within the communities they serve. They're also walking ATM machines.
We are forgetting the brick and mortar branch. The branch remains where it is, but an agent of the branch operates in the village. He offers certain limited services, but reduces the transaction cost of the client.
Reducing the transaction cost. This is where SourceTrace sees huge opportunity. The challenge? Finding a way to make village-level banking not just cheap, but also simple, scalable, and most importantly, secure for the customers, and also for the bank.
They understand out of the gate that with fingerprints, it's bulletproof technology. So it gives them the trust and the security feeling that they require in order to trust the bank and the agent for the bank to give them the cash or to fill in the information to apply for the bank account.
And when you're working in developing economies where there could be variable rates of consistency to the local phone service, it's really critical to know that you always have a firm handshake, a firm communications link between what's happening on the customer end and what's happening at the bank end. And if those lines go down, to know which data was sent and which data was not sent.
Biometrics is just one component of a deceptively complex communications platform that Chatterjee, who holds a PhD in computer science, designed over many years. The heart of the innovation beats on a computer server in Mumbai. Tell me what's going on underneath the hood. I mean, is it pretty complex what's going on here technically?
We have nearly 1 million lines of code in order to make the entire system work end to end. And the trick is you have to make it look simple. You're dealing with mass populations and banks that are located everywhere. They don't have an army of IT engineers to manage their systems.
Complex simplicity. That's what SourceTrace CEO Steve Sellers considers the secret sauce of the company's platform, called E-Services Everywhere, or ESE.
When we're working with a bank or a microfinance institution, we're essentially selling them our technology. We sell them our core ESE server, and then we sell them licenses to use our technology for each of the point-of-sale devices or personal digital assistants or cell phones that they might be using as the remote tools that they're actually using when they're going out and working with their customers.
SourceTrace thinks E-Services Everywhere can be used, well, everywhere, and for all kinds of financial transactions. In Costa Rica, a coffee cooperative is using SourceTrace to digitize transactions with local farmers.
And so they're bringing these bags of coffee over the course of 3 or 4 or 5 months during the harvest season. And the cooperative needs to know, are we getting the same amount of coffee we've got this year as we did last year? If not, why not? Is production down? Has there been a problem with the climate? Are the farmers selling out to the local agribusiness company? Information in an environment like that is really key. And to date, there just hasn't been a technology that has allowed them to capture this kind of information.
SourceTrace technology now serves 25 clients and millions of people, but the company thinks it's just a drop in the bucket.
When you're literally talking about billions of people, that's a market size that even if the transaction size is small, if you can just capture 1, 2, 5% of that transaction as revenue, that becomes a very big number very fast.
SourceTrace thinks big, but so do plenty of other companies all over the world. Mobile banking in developing countries has exploded in recent years. In Kenya, about $2 million is transferred per day using a system called M-Pesa. It allows exchange of money by cell phone. According to the World Bank, there will be 120 mobile money companies operating in the developing world by the end of 2009. That's double the number in 2008. But SourceTrace sets itself apart from standard mobile banking, which is essentially a phone-to-phone technology.
Our technology is certainly capable of doing that, but we have more of an enterprise focus, and so our customers really are the banks themselves that are trying to empower their own customers.
But they certainly do have competition. Sellers says several other Indian companies have a home field advantage. They can easily ramp up capacity by deploying more banking correspondents. At a panel at the World Economic Forum in Delhi, Boston Consulting Group's Janmajaya Sinha says the correspondents may or may not be the key to success.
As you spread your distribution, operating controls and operating risks become harder and harder to manage.
What are the risks?
Fraud.
Oh, okay.
Just how do I know that a business correspondent actually doesn't run away with the money?
That's not SourceTrace's game.
We think that our competitive advantage and our core advantage is our technology. I believe it's safe to say that our competitors think so too, because at least a couple of them have come to us to talk about using our technology to do what they're doing.
As for profitability, Sellers isn't sharing.
We're a privately held company, so we're not releasing those numbers at this point, but we certainly are doing just fine on a month-to-month run rate based on our revenues.
Chatterjee is seeing firsthand the transformative power of his innovation.
To see the emotion and the happiness in these women's eyes when they're given a smart card and they know that now they have a banking account and they have access to capital. They can save $1 a week for the rest of their life to actually have some kind of a nest egg when they retire.
What she is saying that I am saving this amount for the marriage, for the house and for the education of my children.
It'll take a village to prove it's worth the investment to put the poor onto the financial grid. But SourceTrace and their clients are out to demonstrate that technology is well deployed in their hands.
One day it was thought that using thumb impression is a sign of illiteracy. Today it has become a sign of modern technology.